Welcome to the Flora Sage Podcast, a place where we help you create a life you're excited about. As I was preparing for my video for this week, I read this fabulous quote, and the quote is, "Lack of boundaries invites lack of respect." And I was looking in my book, The 1 Degree Shift, and was rereading the chapter about boundaries and how powerful it is. And then I was reflecting on the coaching that we've had inside of the 1 Degree Shift tribe. So we've had 2 events so far, actually 3 events surrounding this particular topic this month. We had our What's Up Wednesday call, which is a spirit-led call, all about whatever the topic is for the month. We had our Lunch and Learn, which is where it's like a big workshop around that particular topic. And then we have our group coaching. And this Wednesday, we have our hot seat coaching, which is where we get just down and dirty about whatever topic is going on in our membership, but also we look at anything else that's going on in our life. And normally I go live either on Mondays or Tuesdays. And like I said, I was just guided to go live. This is going to be more of an informal, conversational type video today instead of just me kind of instructing you guys and sharing some little words of wisdom and some value and stuff like that. So I want you to think about the quote that I just shared with you. Lack of boundaries invites lack of respect. And I want you to think about your life thus far. And I want you to think about who is the person that you respect the most in your life, okay? Did they have boundaries? Were they not shy about telling someone how they felt? Hopefully with tact and not just kind of being a jerk about it. And then I want you to think about the people that you respect the least in your life. Now, these are typically the people that have a small amount of boundaries if they have boundaries at all. Oftentimes they let people walk all over them. Oftentimes they are yes people where they say yes to everything and everybody and everyone. Rarely, however, do they say yes to themselves. And so these people are often burnt out. They're often overwhelmed. They often have a very negative attitude. They feel like they can never get ahead in life. And then, looking at the other side of the spectrum, where those people that you respect the most, they typically are the ones that have the most clear boundaries. They're usually the ones that say no to the things that they really want to say no to. They say yes to those things that really light them up. They usually are very successful. They usually have very clear communication. They usually have really strong relationships. And, when we were talking about this inside of the 1 Degree Shift, we were talking about not only boundaries with other people, but boundaries with yourself. And I know that I touched on this last week, and I really want us to kind of dig into this because, my whole purpose of coming live here on Facebook and on YouTube and IGTV and all these things is to help support you in your life so that you can have a life that you're excited about, so that you can have and discover those things that really light you the hell up instead of those things that make you feel overwhelmed and frustrated and all the things. And, I've had my business since 1997, and I have been coaching people ever since then. And when I went online in 2009, it was very apparent that in the social structures of social media, that those boundary lines are very much, they can be very thin. They can be sometimes non-existent. So I want you to put in the comments one person that you respect immensely in your life. You can put their name, you can put their nickname, you can put their title. For me, it would be one of my mentors. She is just the epitome of what clear boundaries look like, act like, I mean, she truly sets the example for what truly is possible in this world. And so there are times when I'm leading a meeting with my team, or I'm leading a coaching call with a client, or leading a group coaching with all of my clients, well, not all of my clients, but all of my members inside of my groups, where, you can see where people have boundaries and people don't have boundaries, and you can see what issues these lack of boundaries are causing. Sometimes when we have boundaries, they cause issues. And, like I said in, I think it was last week's video, a healthy boundary for you might not be a healthy boundary for someone else. And what's a healthy boundary for someone else might not be a healthy boundary for you. And how we know if we need to look at our boundaries is to just really look at the results that we're getting in our life. And if our life just isn't going well, this is a perfect opportunity for you to ask yourself, okay, do I have boundaries? Am I telling people what I resonate with, what I don't resonate, what I like, what I don't like, what I'm willing to put up with, what I'm not willing to put up with? What are your hours of availability? Like, if somebody calls you at midnight just to BS, is that not okay with you? Or is that okay with you? Like, when you don't have boundaries, when you give yourself the instruction to just kind of be that yes person, you're really inviting people to not respect you, and you're really inviting people to walk all over you. And part of that is you and your boundaries with yourself, okay? Last week we had a huge aha moment and huge breakthrough with one of my clients in the 1 Degree Shift Tribe, and she was talking about how she wanted to get another horse. And she's like, oh, I really want this horse. I'm so excited. And she just got a new horse. And so this would be actually a third horse coming in, because she already had one horse. She got one horse, and it was untrained. And so she's having to train it. And then she got another offer for another horse. And she's like, I really want this horse, all this other stuff. And so I posed a couple very strategic questions for her. And one of them was, look at the boundaries that you have for yourself and ask yourself, is this in the most alignment with me right now to accept this horse? Like, look at your boundaries, look at your time boundaries, look at all the things that you have, and then make that decision from there. And so she spoke with her husband, and then she really sat with it, and she's just like, you know what? I need to set up a boundary with myself, because adding this to the mix actually would not be healthy for me. This would be crossing over one of my boundaries that I've worked so hard in creating. And this was a huge breakthrough for her, because so often, we put decisions on other people. Like, we know what we want to do. And we're like, well, if my husband or my partner will let me do this, yay, I'm going to do it. But we don't stop and think, okay, so regardless of what that person may or may not let you do, or may not be in agreement with, ask yourself first, what is really for my highest good? What type of lifestyle am I creating? Like, I'm an empty nester, okay? We downsized from over 2,000 square feet to 1,400 square feet. From here, we're gonna downsize even more. I want an RV. I want to drive across the land. I want to see all of you beautiful people going on book tours and all that stuff. I'm going to be doing events. So, we're minimizing a lot. And so one of my cats recently passed away a little over a month ago. And we have one cat, and then of course my dog left. And someone asked me, it was actually one of my clients last week, she asked me if I was going to get another cat. And I'm like, no. I love my cats, but no, it's too much of a time commitment. And I'm not willing to put forth that extra time commitment, because having cats makes it very hard to travel, especially in an RV. Now, I know people that RV with cats. I don't want to be one of those people. So that's a boundary that I've set up. My partner is in a full agreement with me about no cats, like no more extra cats. And so, I mean, that's just a tiny boundary. That's like, getting a cat. But these boundaries are huge, and these boundaries dictate all kinds of other things that you allow into your life. I'm a pet lover. Oh my goodness, I am a pet lover. And so if a kitten were to just rock up on my doorstep, of course I would take it in, I'd give it a bath, I would, make sure that it's healthy and all this other stuff, and then I would adopt it out. I wouldn't keep it. So I would care for it and I would do the things that I was guided to do, but I would not keep it. That is a boundary that I've set up for myself that I'm not willing to cross. And so, like I said, that's a very simple boundary. Another one is your financial boundaries. Are you willing to go in debt? Are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to learn and educate yourself about how money works so that you can feel more financially sound and more financially confident to make your decisions? If you're overweight, are you willing to put up a boundary for yourself and not eat carbs after 3 p.m. or to work out an hour a day or move your body and just crank up some music and start dancing? So boundaries are not only parameters in which you maintain that your well-being, but it's also a boundary for you to just say, no, this is my level of standard in my life of what I want and what I don't want. And then you share it with the people that are in your life. And most of the time when we share it, we're sharing it unconsciously. We're sharing it by our actions. And when someone sees you not follow through with what you say, like you talk a good talk, but you don't walk the walk, they're going to learn not to trust you. Truly, they're going to learn not to trust what you say. This is huge. So I really want you to just take this in and let me know how this is landing for you. Really let me know, is this something that you want to learn more of? Because like I said, inside the inner circle, inside my 1 Degree Shift tribe, we have been digging into this and so many people are having just crazy breakthrough moments. They're like, oh my God, Flora, this is freaking nuts. And when you give yourself permission to really look at how you are living your life, how you are truly showing up, then right there you can assess where you're at. Thank you, Heather. She's like, really needed to hear this. Good. I'd love to have you inside of the 1 Degree Shift tribe. Because I'm telling you, this is something that so oftentimes people try to do these things on their own. They try to do all the work on their own. They try to be the motivator. They try to be the educator. They try to be all these things. And when you can give yourself permission to just say, okay, this is what's going on in my life. This is where I'm slacking, because we've all been there. That's why I have a coach. That's why I have a team, because they helped keep me in check. And I did it for years on my own, and I was pissed at myself. I'm like, why the hell am I not seeing results? Like, seriously, I'm doing all the work. It wasn't the work that was hard. It was the mindset shift. And I thought mindset was bullshit. I'm like, bullshit. No, all I have to do is work hard. I'm going to get the results. Blah, blah, blah. That was just ego talking. It wasn't until I changed my self-image and my paradigm, which Bob Proctor talks all about this. I mean, I've been following him for years. Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, all the classics, all those old school self-help people, they all said this. And I knew it in theory, but I wasn't really grasping it until my lack of boundaries literally bit me in the ass. Not literally bit me in the ass, but you know what I mean? Metaphorically bit me in the ass. And I realized I'm just like, okay, so I have these boundaries that I'm saying they are, but I wasn't following through with them. I was talking a good talk, but I wasn't walking the walk. And so I had to shift my mindset around actually following through with stuff. And when I did that, my entire life changed. My entire life changed. And this is one of the things that I've seen with my clients. And we actually just had kind of a mini celebration in our VIP lounge inside of the 1 Degree Shift tribe this past weekend, because 2 of my clients had huge breakthroughs. One of them is a nurse, and she has been working with me over the past, I think, 3 months using the 1 Degree Shift method, which I outline in this book. I've got lots of videos about it. And she said, I wasn't quite sure that I was making progress, because when we live in a bubble, when we're kind of in our own realm, sometimes we don't know if we're making progress until you see someone. And she had reconnected with somebody who she hadn't talked with in, I think, 20 years. And they were having a conversation, and the lady goes, why are you so positive? And she's like, oh my God, I came unglued. I'm so excited, like came unglued in a good way. And she's like, I'm just so excited at the shifts that I'm seeing and I'm feeling and I'm experiencing. And she's like, this is just nuts. And I mean, this truly is one of those things, is that every week I come on here live and I share with you just a fraction of what we have inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. And inside of the 1 Degree Shift Tribe, we dig deep in these things. And it's not overwhelmingly deep, but I present things in a way that causes you to think. Now, most people don't think. Most people are just kind of in this rat race and in this kind of daily routine that we just kind of go through the motions and do our thing, and we'll watch videos like this and we'll do things and we might read something or whatever, but we never action them. And like I said before, for years I spent filling my brain with stuff, so I knew it intellectually, but I didn't actually translate it into my subconscious so that it could actually come out and manifest into a different result. And so if you're having a problem, if you're having trouble taking what you know and actioning it and putting it into the subconscious, your self-image will dictate who you are. And you can never go past or further than your self-image. So if your self-image says you're fat, you're too old, you're too young, you don't have enough money to do this, all those self-sabotaging thoughts, if that's what your self-image is, all the goal setting in the world isn't going to matter. You have to change that self-image. And in order for you to change that self-image, you have to bypass this consciousness and literally filter new programming down into your subconscious. How you do that is put it into emotion. And you translate, so someone might be asking, well, what does this have to do with boundaries? Hang on, I'm circling back to that in just a second. So you can have all the intellectual information up here. You know all the things. And you might try to action those things, okay? But the subconscious is not getting any of it because the subconscious is not intellectual. The subconscious is all emotional. So in order for the subconscious to soak in what it is that you know so that it can translate into results, you have to translate your knowledge into emotion. And how do you do that? You do it through all kinds of different ways. You could do it through journaling. You could do it through audio loops. I have this fabulous app called Audio Loop, and I record myself with my goals and my goal statement, and I record it once, and I always have my current goal and then my self-image, and then I hit repeat, and it literally repeats for an hour, and I play it several times during the day, and this helps to reprogram my subconscious mind. And I really get into that feelingness of being in this new space. Now, regardless of where you're at in the spectrum of success and where you're at with boundaries, where you're at in your life, we all have that next level that we go to. We all have that next level of success and that next level, that next version of ourself. And so when you allow yourself to recognize, okay, this is where I'm at, and this is the 1 Degree Shift method simplified, where am I at? You got to get really honest. The more honest you can get, the more results you're going to get. Because when you emotionalize where you're at, and if you want to get pissed, get pissed. If you want to get excited, get excited. Because right now, I'm really excited where I'm at. Sometimes in my life, I have not been. I've been very pissed, very frustrated with where I've been at. But feel it. Really get honest. Where are you at? And then where do you want to be? And again, this is your goal. This is not anybody else's. So you got to get super, super crystal clear and super, super honest with where you truly want to be. And then ask yourself, what's one thing that I can do to get there? And when you get super crystal clear and super honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to be, that next step is going to be second nature. That next step is just going to come to you intuitively. It's just going to drop in. And sometimes that next step might be scary as hell, and other times it might be exhilarating. But usually it's just outside of your comfort zone. just outside of your comfort zone. So earlier today, I was having a meeting with my team and we were talking about some things that we're shifting and doing in my business. And we've split my business into two. We've got my energycords.com site and then my florasage.com site. And so we're updating the website copy, we're shifting some things, and there was a couple questions I actually couldn't answer, and I was like, ooh, okay. And so I've been sitting with it, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of popped in here, because there are times where I don't feel confident, and then other times where I'm like, fuck yeah. Now I feel more confident than not. Like I would probably say like 98% of the day I'm like super confident. Not in an egotistical way, but from that place of I know who I am and I know where I'm going and I know exactly what choices to make to get there. And there's that like 2% of the time where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to have to sit with that and meditate on it and just really feel that out. Now, as a leader in my company, I try to make decisions very quickly. I try not to sit and ponder things, but there are some things that right now I'm just not clear about as far as the direction that we're taking certain things. So I say all that to say this. Are you an extra in your own movie? Or are you the leader? Are you the main person? Are you the main character of your movie? Chances are you are an extra. Most people are. Most people get up, go to work, do their thing every day, come back home, make dinner, watch TV, go to bed, or scroll on Netflix or scroll on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, go to bed, and their whole life is the same thing over and over. And people live for Fridays. They live for the weekends. If that's you, this is your wake-up call. You need to start I recommend you need to start setting boundaries with yourself. And the first boundary that I would set is stop telling yourself you don't have time to do stuff. Truly. Because when you decide, I'm not happy with my life and I really want something better. I want something different. I want something to be excited about. If that's you, then ask yourself, where am I at today? And where do I want to be? Like, what is my goal? What am I working towards? You know, one of the things that I have my private clients do is I have them set a goal and then I have them set another goal. So once they achieve this goal, then what? Because oftentimes people will set a goal, boom, they achieve it, and then there's the lack of fanfare, the lack of whatever, and that's it. Like they've achieved that goal and they're like, okay, now what? So I always have them set this first goal and then, okay, so once you're done with this goal, what's the next thing that you have? Like I made a list of my goals today in my journal and I have 17. So I have the goal that I'm currently working towards. And then I've got the next goal. And then after that, I've got the next goal. And then I have the next goal. And then the next one, all the way up, like to 17. I have 17 goals. So I know exactly where I'm going. This is breadcrumb trail right here. And every single one of these goals excites the fuck out of me. I'm so excited because I know I have a mission. And every single one of these goals will help me fulfill the mission that I have right now. And your mission could be a stay-at-home mom right now. Your mission could be the leader of your company, whatever that is. Your mission could be the best janitor on the planet. Your mission could be the best coach on the planet. Your mission could be the best landscaper on the planet, or the best mom or dad on the planet, whatever that is. But you got to give yourself permission to figure out where the heck you're going. Because without knowing where you're going, how are you going to know what boundaries to put in place? How are you going to know? When you go into your car has to figure out, and you got that GPS going, your car has to know, okay, this is where we're starting from. This is that first part. Step 1, where are you? Boom. Get brutally honest with yourself. And then for the GPS to work, where are you going? You got to put in an address or at least a state or a city. And that's your goal. And then what's one thing that I can do? But part of the rules of the road is, hey, there's highways and there's back roads. Which one do you want to go on? Which one do you resonate with? That's a boundary. If you say no highways, avoid avoid toll roads, or I only want to exclusively go on toll roads when possible because they're whatever, they're bigger, they're more maintained, you can drive faster, or whatever it is. Same thing. There's on the journey from where you are to where you're going, if you're on a road, there's going to be stop signs, there's going to be merges, there's going to be yields, there's going to be stop lights, there's going to be traffic circles, all these things. And in order for you to know how to navigate them, you're going to have to know the rules of the road. Those are boundaries that pretty much most people that are watching this can relate to. It's the same thing with you in your life. If you don't have personal boundaries set up, first of all, how are you going to navigate in your life and in your realm? And how are other people supposed to know how to navigate with you? If you just talk a good talk and you don't walk the walk, people are going to know not to trust what you say. And that's going to invite a lack of respect. So if you truly want to feel excited about your life, if you want to feel motivated about where you're going, if you want to figure out where you're going, truly, because some people have no clue. They're just like, I'm just waiting until 65 so I can retire. And then I remind people, retirement is not an age. It's a number in the bank. You got to figure out what kind of lifestyle you want for retirement and then save that amount of money. It could be $100,000 if you just want to live on the beach and eat hot dogs. I don't know. Or if you want to retire living in a mansion and jet setting all over the world. So then you might need 10 million or 50 million, whatever. So when you get clear about where you're going and where you are, that right there is going to help you figure out what your boundaries are. It's going to help you figure out what inner boundaries need to be set and what outer boundaries need to be set. And then with those boundaries, then people are going to start to respond to you and with you more appropriately. They're going to start to recognize, oh, this person really means what they say. Okay. And again, that invites respect. Again, think about those people that you respect the most in your life. I can guarantee you, they have very clear boundaries. They say no when they mean no. They say yes when they really mean yes. And they let you know when something is inappropriate. And they have really conscious discussions. And they're not afraid to disagree with someone. They're not afraid to say, no, I'm pretty good. I'm good. So give yourself permission to recognize what you are willing and what you're not willing to do. Where you are, where you're going, and really give yourself permission to just say, you know what? I've been doing this on my own for so long and I'm kind of tired. Because I was there. It's hard doing it on your own. And I felt so frustrated. I felt a lack of motivation. I felt tired. I cried so much. And then I realized I'm just like, you know what? I need to get some help. And that's when I hired a coach. And that coach helped me so much. She helped me get out of my own way. She helped me realize and learn how to take what I knew in here and translate it into emotion so that my subconscious would accept what I knew and what I wanted. And that helped me translate those feelings, what I knew, into feelings, and then those feelings into actions. And then those actions then led to results. And sometimes it takes a hot minute for those results to come because we're stubborn. I'm one of those people. But if you have found that you keep trying to do it on your own and it's not working It's because we're not meant to do things on our own. We're not. We're supposed to be in a tribe. Like, humans have thrived in tribes. We've thrived in tribes. We've got people that are great at cooking and sewing and hunting and being the medicine person, like the doctors. You know, we have people that specialize in dance. We have people that do all the things. So we're all experts at something. And I am an expert at helping people create healthy boundaries. I'm an expert at people creating breakthroughs in their life. So allow me to help you help yourself. Allow me to help you usher yourself into this new you, this new life that is, oh my goodness, you're literally, people are going to stop you and go, why are you so positive? Or what are you doing? This is what my clients tell me all the time, that people stop them and they're just like, what are you doing? Why are you so happy? What's going on with you? That's what I want for you. So if you feel that you are ready for a breakthrough, if you know you are done struggling and you know you are done trying to do it all on your own, what I want you to do is I want you to click the link wherever it is that you see the link for the 1 Degree Shift Tribe. Click the link, join us. We have a VIP group coaching, our 90-minute hot seat coaching on Wednesday. We can hit it hot and heavy right away. You're not going to want to miss this. You're truly going to want to sign up and join us inside of the VIP lounge. I can feel a shift coming for you. So click the link in the comments. I love you, and I hope to see you inside. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. The links mentioned in today's podcast episode are in the show notes.